machine,
Okay,
they are
let's
given...
Let's start right now.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
When a user comes to the machine, they're presented with a login screen here. Okay, this is their user ID. It is a 4-digit number at the time.
Unless it starts with 0 and then it's defaulted to a 3-digit.
You still enter a 0.
But we still put the 0 in.
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
I have a dummy one in right now of 1, 2, 3, 4. I enter.
We might need to talk a little louder.
Okay, it takes just a moment, and now I'm presented with all options that are available. That's when I would then go into copy. I would select what I'm going to copy, proceed with it. At the time I am through, up here at the top it says that I'm logged in. My name is ABC, and I am on the Coldwell Banker Island Living account. I would then log out. It will go back now ready for somebody else to log in for their needs.
So let's show again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter.
Hit enter.
Okay. So if they want to make a copy, our options are, can you explain each of these buttons for us?
This is your percentages. It's defaulted at 100%. You do have auto, which will then either enlarge or reduce the image to fit the page that you want it to go on. So we do have 8.5 by 11. 1 to 1, that means the original is one-sided and the output is going to be one-sided. You have the original one side with the output being two-sided, two-sided original, output two-sided, or two-sided original, and you want it now just one-sided. The default is 1 to 1. You would then go ahead, take your sheet face up into the feeder, slide it in, hit the start button. It will then take the image, slide it through, and the copy comes out right down below.
Great quality. Good. Yay. All right. So can you explain some of these other buttons like image quality? And
Image quality goes through the original type. The default is text. If you're doing a photo, I would recommend you come in and select that. The output, the black and white output, will be enhanced for photos.
Okay.
You have lighten and darken. So just a typical, if you want the image a little lighter or darker. And you also have background suppression. This is if you are copying a colored piece of paper, like blue paper, and it comes out with a gray background. If I put auto suppression on, it will recognize that it wants the background, or that you want the background to be white, so it will adjust the image to make the background white, still keeping your text black.
Cool.
Under layout adjustments, you have original size. This is set for 8.5 by 11. At times, if you have a small piece that you want to put in, you can actually go in and tell it what size it is with XY coordinates so that it will scan just that area and enlarge it to fit the paper that is needed.
That's really cool.
Okay, a neat feature to do that. You have edge erase. This works out quite handy if you have like hole punches and you don't want those to show on the copy. It will not copy a 1/2 inch on that edge. You can also manually adjust it so that any edges, if you have, for example, coming off the internet and there's a header and a footer that you don't want to show.
That's edge erase?
Okay. That's the edge erase. If I go all edges, or it has various options, small, original, and other things there. Okay. Book copying. This allows for putting a book on the screen and actually being able to copy without turning your book side by side. You can copy the right hand page, the left hand page, just one page, or the other page. And this
Amazing.
works good for, like an article, you have a double page spread, but you want it printed front and back of a single sheet of paper. You can go ahead and say, I want both pages, but you would set it up that you want it to print two-sided. And so now the article is just using one sheet of paper.
Cool.
Image shift. This is if it works well if you have an image that, if you're going to 3-hole punch it, it's going to get into critical information, and so you want to go ahead and move it over a little bit so that the holes don't get punched, or the text does not get punched.
Oh, that's really important when you print anything off the MLS.
Right.
Yeah.
You always
And
mention
then the agents use the binder, and it always goes through. So that is image shift,
Image
and that was
shift.
under
That is under the layout adjustments.
adjustment. Okay.
Image shift.
Got it.
The other thing that this does have is an auto center. So you can actually scan something or put something in there, and it will automatically take that image and center it. And that comes in handy where it's not up in a corner somewhere. Okay, the last are output formats. This gets into several features. Booklet creation, and this all depends on how you have set up the initial screen, but this will help you take 8 pages, scan it in, and when it comes out, it's now ready to fold in half. This doesn't have staple capabilities, but it has positioned each of the pages so that it is in a booklet layout or format.
Great. And we have the stapler to do booklets, so great.
Page layout, and let me go in and we will page layout allows us to do multiple up of the same image. So if you have a small flyer that's 5.5 by 8.5, you don't have to copy it once and lay it on the page. You can actually say, I want this image 2 up.
So that would take one image and print it 2 times on one side.
On one side. Then you can
Right.
cut that in half and
Great.
have that
So
taken
for
care
rack
of.
cards or something, if they were photocopying it. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Covers. This allows you to actually pull the first copy and or the last copy of something that you're scanning in, to pull that paper from the default or the bypass tray. So you could have a heavier stock for the cover. It would then pull that. The rest of it will pull from the tray, and then the last page would pull from it also. So
Okay.
it helps you so you're not having to hand collate afterwards or deal with things. And all of these we can go over in more detail. Transparencies. If you do transparencies, this actually adjusts the heat and the other features of the machine in order to not meld it and to get the proper image and to adhere the toner on properly. So that's an overview of the copy and features of the machine.
Great. Thank you.